I was wondering if Babaji would be able to talk about his own tapas, those tapas years, please.
Well, it's a longer experience though, but I will try to be in brief. Exactly give the clue what has to happen in a person when he does meditation or tapas. This is an important point. As you all know, I was practicing meditation since long time. After coming to Swamiji in 1974, very seriously, of course, the one was the service. When the service was being given, I kept quiet mentally, never analyzed, never scrutinized, never wanted to know why this and why not this. There was no such reservations. Whatever Swamiji wanted, we just did it and offered the services at his lotus feet. Thus, the mind remained quiet and it receded. So, those 20 years of service. Apart from the service, I did get a lot of time quietly. Whenever my guru was not in this ashram, he traveled to other places. As his headquarters was in Bangalore, so most of the time he used to stay there, come here once a year for 2 months or so. So when he was not here, so after attending to the daily chores of the ashram, I used to make some one or two rotis and then go behind. In those days, we didn't have any buildings, lot of bushes, some mango trees, beautiful atmosphere of peace and tranquility was there. Sitting under a tree, sometimes I did read a few pages of Yoga Vasishta's teachings to Lord Rama, and most of the time, 6 to 7 hours, I sat for meditation, quietening. I had understood the concept. All I have to do is become quiet mentally. I had realized at this point, I have to become quiet. I am the one who has become a chatterbox all the times. And my mind means it is me. So thus, and also I realized the consciousness of existence that is there. That I used to ponder and wonder how wonderful this is, apart from all other imaginations. Because one thing in the beginning itself, what I noticed, the rest of all the imaginations that were coming into the mind were slippery and temporary, wouldn't stay for a long time, would keep changing constantly. But this consciousness of existence steadily remained as it is. So this was a wonder for me, the first time experiencing. So that way, then I continued on focusing on that one. Thus, in those 20 years, lot of mind becoming quietening has happened. So all these things were very helpful. Finally, after 20 years, in 1994, when my Guru Shiva Balayogi attained Mahasamadhi, when a yogi drops the physical body gets dropped when it is dead. So that's what happens. One doesn't have to drop by thinking, by visualizing, by doing any such technique, nothing. It gets dropped on its own. But being a yogi, the one who is the self-realized and remain in the self all the time, being in the self. So he just remained like that one. So that's what really happened. 3 months later, I got a vision of my guru coming out of the photo on the dais where we used to do arati in the Dhyana Mandir in Dehradun ashram. He holding my hand, he took me to the room where I sat for 5 years, and there was a cart and made me to sit on the cart, and he touching in between eyebrows gave the same command, just watch in between eyebrows by focusing the attention of mind and sight, don't repeat anything. He wouldn't even say mantra. I am just repeats so that people can understand. Most of the time repeating means any mantra they keep repeating. That's why I emphasize elaborately, do not repeat any mantra or anything. Like that I add. So he said always, don't repeat anything, do not imagine anything. So just that one. And don't open your eyes. That he guided. Then apart from that, one important thing I heard was either you come out as a yogi from this room or your dead body must come out. You must not abandon. That firmness must be there. That's how he always taught. Do or die. The dying is equally simple as doing. For him, that was how it is. Like, and at this time I would like to recount. So after I came to ashram in 1974, he came in 1976. So 1 year before that, a staunch devotee of Swamiji had got murdered who wanted to donate her property. She was from the royal family. When Swamiji came, so there were some threatening calls coming to this ashram also for us to go away from here. And the lady who was here, so before I came, she got very much scared and panicked and she went away eventually. Then Swamiji came. He said, is there any problem? I said, no problem, Swamiji. No calls are coming. Everything is all right. I am at peace. No problem. What happened? Even if you die, you will come back to me quickly. You won't go anywhere. He spoke so simple way. And just removing anything in my mind in such a simple way. Even if you die, it's no problem. You will come back again. Where will you go? That type of thing. So he spoke like that. In the same way here also, either you come out as a dead body or you come out as a yogi. Simple way he told. Well, I sat and continued. Every month when he appeared, so he always encouraged any experience that comes, do not get attracted or involved into that. These 2 points he emphasized. Do not get attracted. It must not be any thrill or any attractive or anything for you. Just watch. Whether it is a manifestation or any vision or any good or bad, any such things, angels or some dreaded visions, anything comes, just watch and do not get involved. And also he emphasized, just watch and do not react also for any vision, no matter how physical, how manifestive it is, in whatever way it is. Means that he explained sometimes the potency of the picture could be so strong. So depending on that, I have called in my talks the imagination quality of the consciousness which becomes creative and comes to be known as mind for us in human beings. And when you practice more meditation, if you are involved into that manifestation or in that vision or in visualization of a deity or any sometimes bad, wrong things, the mind keeps imagining everything, both good and bad, for every human being. Suffering also and sometimes dreaded things. So that can get manifested. So that second stage, I call it as mental projection. Then the third stage, when the mind becomes more concentrated, you achieve 100% concentration just before it goes into actual samadhi. Samadhi means their total stillness. It doesn't experience anything else except peace and existence. Then that existence also just disappear when the merger happens. The final merger happens, that I thought will also disappear. So all the time, whatever manifestations happen, some good, some bad, some dreaded, some threatening, some tempting, all these things. So by the grace of my Guru and his teachings, consistent advocating of not to react, so you could watch those manifestations and did not get attracted for anything. Not even for any powers, nothing you must not get attracted, because when you are going for divinity, for self-realization, that is the highest, that is the final. To reach there, to merge with the self, you need like the rocket's thirst power to get out of the earth's atmosphere, you need the power of the mind. The mind has to be totally purified, not get involved with any visualization, any resolution, any involvement, any attraction, and any reaction for anything. It must remain quiet. That quietness you have to achieve just by watching. That is what you have to do. When you are watching means you are not doing anything else in your consciousness as the pure consciousness or as the mind in the beginning, whatever you want to call that. You have stopped to be chatterbox anymore. All the previous acquired habits of the consciousness that arises, it's just like the stirring. It arises, gradually it gets evaporated. You don't react. If you react, it will not get evaporated, it will not dissolve, it will stay back. That you react and you get involved with that chatterbox and you create further visions unnecessarily. Thus, you lose the power of the mind to go to divinity. So that is what I keep calling rocket's thirst power to go out of the atmosphere of Earth. If it has to go to some other planet or moon or anywhere, that is what is important, very important in that thing. Otherwise, the mind remains in the periphery atmosphere of the creation only. It cannot get out of that creation. That is very, very important in meditation, in tapas, what the Guru teaches always. That's what we always try to advocate. Remain silent. Don't get involved into any visions. People talk of colors, people talk of such experience, this experience. They want to know. Experience means for them an appearance as a vision or as a thought process. These both are prohibited while meditating. You must not get involved into them, must not react to them. You just have to watch. That's what the meaning of watch in between eyebrows, when the master gives it as a command, instructing, while initiating also, making a disciple, a devotee to sit for meditation. This is what he says, that you must catch hold. That's what Swamiji also used to tell. Jangama says when he appeared before Swamiji, he just touched in between eyebrows and asked him to concentrate his mind and sight. Just keep watching there by focusing the attention. This word has to enter the inner layers of your mind. Then don't repeat anything, no mantra, nothing. Do not imagine. If any thoughts and visions appear, do not imagine about them. What is this? Why is this? This is good, this is bad. Mind gets involved. Don't get involved. That is from the beginning itself the master teaches. So this is very helpful in tapas when the master tells. Whenever he used to appear on every Purnima, so thus he guided me for this. Do not get attracted for any vision or any experience that comes. Just watch. Even if it is God, your job is just to watch. So that's how you have to be. You must not do that one. So that is very important. So thus we carried on the 5 years. So many visions came, sometimes the traveling in the space came, different worlds appear. But after the appearance of all the different worlds and you going to those places, suddenly when you open the eyes, the master helps you and you are in the place where you are sitting for the tapas. So then you realize, in reality, the eye never traveled anywhere. That doesn't happen at all. Simply when the consciousness spins, it creates a hypnotizing effect and creates the world. First it creates the world of illusion, then it creates a distance of space, then it creates a traveling experience which does not exist at all. All the three does not exist. No other worlds exist, no space exists, and your traveling doesn't happen. You are in where you are. People unnecessarily get attracted. That means when you are going to obtain the supermarket, you get attracted to small chocolate, to a small shop, and try to own that one and get into a conflict and involved. That's what happens. Hare, The God is giving you supermarket. That's what Swamiji used to tell. So why are you getting involved into this shop? Any vision, anybody ever told him, okay, I got this vision, I got this color? He said, okay, nonsense. Wait, the whole supermarket will come. God is yours. Even if God appears and asks you what you want, don't ask for anything except God. Tell you want only God, because God is the only happiness. That is the only supreme peace. That is the final truth. That is the liberation once for all. That is supreme peace. Nothing else can be stable. Whatever God gives, it cannot last forever. It is unstable, impermanent. Anything that will be finished one day. So, like that, he always taught us, and finally, the things are all over. And the final test, how much you get attracted or involved. And the divine appeared as the Ardhanarishwara, half male and half female of Shiva and Parvati. When they also tempt you, because of your tapas, we have been manifested in this form. And you can obtain powers and you can become famous and you can be a guru for yourself. You don't need anything. So, this is very important. This happens only through your own consciousness. There is no different duality is there. At that stage, a non-duality happens actually due to the tapas. Though before the actual merger, this final, like the manifested vision happens as a final test whether the I thought also has dissolved or not. The duality doesn't appear. You are not interested in anything. You just cannot cheat your own consciousness. Whatever is inside, that comes out. If there is any desire for power or any such thing, that comes out. If it comes out, then you are gone. You have wasted all those tapas you have done. So finally, instead of asking for God himself, you have asked for a small laddu type. So that's over, finishes. God will give you what you want, but that's not the thing. So that's what we had learned. So I would like to stay at the Guru's lotus feet, and whatever is needed, I am happy to serve as long as the body is available. Once the body goes, that is finished. I don't need anything. Then the divine blesses and takes you, or he merges in you, or you merge in him. It is all the same. That, like Swamiji said, the droplet merging in the ocean, or the ocean engulfs the droplet. So that finishes. The I is over, no more imagination is there, and the one single self that exists, that you experience, and you merge with that one. That is the liberation. So that was how the simplest clue, some basic points of what tapas happens. The final experience is inexplicable. No words are there, no language, no expression. You have to experience finally. We can give you clue, help you to go there. Practice, practice, practice. That's why I tell everybody, today like you all try to sit for 1 hour, make it a way of life. Don't simply make it that you wait for a Saturday that Baba comes on the Zoom online and then make you all to sit for meditation. Every day carry on. The next 6 days also you keep doing this. This must become a way of life, a practice. First, steady sitting of the physical body is important. At least for 1 hour you should be able to sit in the beginning. If at all in the beginning, I tell people, if there is pain in the leg or any such thing, you can stretch out a little bit, but don't get too much involved with the stretching out exercise. So your concentration must not get disturbed. Keep your eyes closed, keep the concentration as much as possible, stretch out the legs a little bit and bring it back, and then continue meditation. You can go for another half an hour. Like that, slowly you can achieve 1 hour. The smooth running of the inhale, exhale of the breath, and also the body's steady sitting, keeping the back and neck straight is very important. So then inside things are important after this. Next stage is that you just watch, You will not think of anything. You will not try to get involved in anything. You will not try to recognize, analyze, or make any judgments mentally. Just keep quiet. That's it. That's how you have to practice. Then the meditation will be progressive. Then you will be able to progressively go towards divinity.
People talk about your 5 years of tapas, but the way you spoke, it seems more like the 20 years of service you did was part of your tapas, or preparation for the tapas, an important part of it?
Definitely, it was also a tapas in two aspects. One was that whenever I was able to sit for 6 to 7 hours of meditation, and another was serving. When you are serving means you are living in this world. In other words, when you live in this world, you are surrounded by other human beings also. So everybody will have their own temperament, their own ideas, their own thinking. Everybody will not appreciate you or what you have undertaken, what life you are trying to lead, what you are trying to achieve. This is not possible. Some may make fun, some may criticize, some may try to trouble, some may. So everybody will have their selfishness, their own temperament. Based on that only every human being works in this world. You have to look after your mind that you don't get involved mentally with any of these aspects, either a good or bad, right or wrong. That's what I repeatedly keep telling. If you call this world very good in the mind, then also you are getting involved into the world. If you call this world very bad, then also you are getting involved into the world. Means your mind is getting involved, it cannot keep quiet. Once it cannot keep quiet, it is a chatterbox. It troubles you. It gives you all emotions, all type of imaginations, everything. And the mind gets carried away with its own spinning of effects of itself, and then forgets that it needs the self, or it needs God, or what it needs, peace, anything. It keeps looking for peace in that spinning only, which is not obtainable at all, because that itself is an impermanent action. So that's what happens. Thus, it was a part of my tapas, that it was a final jump for the 5 years at one place that I could sit. The master guided.
And you had Swamiji guiding you. Is it important to have a realized yogi giving guidance for the tapas?
It's always a bonus if you can find, if you are destined to find a self realized master. The divine takes you there, or the divine makes a self realized master come into your life. That's what happens through some way or other. So, this is the destiny. For that, first thing you have to be sincere that you want the divinity, the self realization only, and then you are not attracted to anything else. Totally devoted for that cause. Then you pray to the divine. So, thus, if a master is available who is self realized, that's like a bonus. He can guide you. So, otherwise, if the master is only a scholar and has not experienced the truth, that person might have an imagination about the scriptures in his own way. So, he will guide in the same way. If a person has understood Kundalini as a serpent, he will guide you only as a serpent. He cannot tell you the exact meaning of Kundalini. So that's what happens often. So it is recommended, if it's possible, if you are destined, you pray to the divine to have a self-realized master. However, finally it is the inner guru. From inside only the divine will guide finally. Even if you are sincere, when you are sincere, even if you are unable to obtain a physically self-realized master, the guidance will come from within in the right sense. If you want only that truth.
So during those 5 years when you were sat in tapas, Swamiji appeared each month on the full moon. Is there a significance to that particular full moon time?
Probably it could have been my own long previous resolution. Also, when I came, Swamiji sometimes used to mention about a new moon day and a full moon day. He used to tell ki for all sattvic divine rituals, like any sadhana for self-realization or any bhakti marga worship and bhakti marga sattvic type of remembering the divine, any such special occasion, it is a full moon day is the recommended one, auspicious, he used to tell. The no moon day is inauspicious for this thing. However, I tried not to mingle with the auspicious and inauspicious, because I tried to bring my consciousness. Any moment that you can remember the divine is auspicious. You don't have to wait for an auspicious. But probably this hearing had made me that Swamiji appeared on a full moon day only. It's quite possible, something like that.
So during your tapas, the mind becomes more peaceful and quiet, and you're losing imaginations. But at the same time, Babaji experienced manifestations which were even more real than an imagination. How is that the mind's getting quieter but also more powerful?
In the academy also, as you progress to the next class, you go to primary school, middle school, high school, then come to university, the strength of the examination also increases. So your ability to remain focused in that knowledge and wisdom. The same topic, it could be like oxygen, what you read in a middle class could be different from the high school or the university level, and as you go for a specialization, it will be much more higher. So, but at every stage you are tested for your ability to grasp the next higher meaning of the things. That is why these things do come before merging in the self. So your ability to remain quiet of a temptation type or any such manifestation that could be disturbing your consciousness, these things appear. So your ability not to get disturbed finally is important. So when you are progressing also, before the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, so this is tested.
And in between, those manifestations would only be very occasional, and in between the mind would be silent and peaceful.
Yeah, most of the time I didn't notice the time or space that were passing by, any such thing happening. So the days are also, so whenever the deity or Swamiji appear, Salki, today is being a Purnima, I have come. So then only I would realize anything. Or other times when those people who are attending to my needs of some light food, like a vegetable soup or a khichdi type, any such thing, they would tell me what the day or the year has passed by. So that was how I could make out. Otherwise, while in the deeper meditations, you won't notice the time and space. Just like in the night when you have a deep sleep, you won't notice that running of the space or the time passing by. That you just see it as a 2 minutes and it's over and you are up so quickly, and in between you have not noticed at all. So remember that it's like that type of experience happened. So once means what this is what some of the small clue that I can give you. So in Australia, I had to undergo a small surgery for a small wound that had happened. So the doctor was talking to me. He kept something, oxygen. He said, inhale this oxygen, this will strengthen you. You will become more stronger. That's all I remember. Suddenly when I opened the eyes, a nurse was standing. I asked her, is the doctor performing any surgery? She said, oh, it's all over. How are you doing? I said, it's over. So I didn't notice anything else after that. But I was there, remember? So that type of thing happens in Samadhi. So that is why it is inexplicable. You cannot save.
And during meditation and tapas, you talk about the imprints on the mind evaporating. By the time you started to sit in your 5-year part of the tapas, had almost all of those imprints already evaporated? Was it just the final, more stubborn imprints left?
Yeah, a little bit of certain things would have been left there, but though most of the things were already not there, because since childhood we were very less exposed to the outside world. And after coming to the ashram, I just went to do any purchases of groceries, any vegetables in the daytime and came back. The evenings I never went out. And also going out and coming was just for the job and come back, and never noticed and never mingled with any people. Only those devotees who were coming in the ashram, I knew them, I would speak to them, they would speak to me, that's all. More than that, I never noticed the outside world, never got attracted for anything. So the meditation and the tapas all became bit easier than probably others. But still, due to association with Swamiji's physical presence and his devotees surrounding, certain imprints would have come, knowingly or unknowingly, though they were sattvic in nature. So these all manifested and then had to be dissolved again. Final dissolution had to happen. That's why this thing came probably.
And is it that every imprint has, from this life and previous lives, all has to go? Everything has to evaporate and disappear?
Everything. The divine, Para-Brahman, that's why Nirvikalpa means not an iota of Vikalpa is there. No imprint is there. The divine is known as being in Mahasamadhi. All pervaded, omnipresent words, what you all get to listen in talks. So, all pervaded divinity, it is totally pure. That's why they called it as that, Tattva, the ancient sages. Such an awesome experience.
So some people have been asking, when will they know when they're ready for tapas? What are the signs, or is it not like that?
They don't have to be waiting, it will simply take them there if they are sincerely doing. See, today also, I addressed everybody sitting there. Make this a way of life. Don't simply keep waiting for 1 week. So next Saturday Baba comes on the Zoom online and then we will sit. And the rest of the days you forget what you have to do and you get involved in other things. Don't do that one, I told them. Every day, at least for 1 hour you sit. Practice so that you are able to sit physically in a stabilized way. Because in the beginning, if you are not used to it, the inside mind will spin and will try to burst open outside, just like the gas trying to come out, bursting the cylinder. So that type of thing, it will be restlessness will happen. So many people, when they are new, they are unable to keep the eyes closed for a long time. That's what the taste we take, and then slowly we guide them to do that one. So they open after some time. It could be bewildering, it could be dreadful for them, and they can be scary for some people when they close the eyes. It is nothing. So that is what one has to practice. Relax, at peace, every day sit down. Remember the instructions. Convert the instructions as the command of the master, of the commander. See, instructions slightly a lower quality than the command of a commander. That's what I'm trying to explain. If simply it's an instruction, some people are likely to take it lightly and not follow the instructions properly. Whereas instructions itself should be the very strict adhering to what the master wants you to do. Just watch, he tells, you have to watch. That's what Ashtavakra told Janaka, quiet. He became quiet mentally also. He was sitting on the horseback, he became physically quiet. He was ripe enough. By then, he had heard the talks of Upadesha of Ashtavakra about the self and the mind consciousness. So he had become so perfect and he just became quiet mentally and samadhi occurred. So that's what the following of the instructions, like a command. So just watch. Like that, throughout the week, everybody practice so that you are ready next week when I come here. You have practiced something. You are able to show that you can sit down peacefully. You are not going to sleep or you are not going to shake. So, like that, you have to practice. Finally, practice is the mantra. There is no shortcut, no other thing is there. Individually, everybody has to practice. A master can inspire, a guide, clue, be there as a torch bearer to inspire you. You will be able to receive the vibrations. If you have that faith and the devotion, you become receptive. These things are necessary, but at the same time, you have to putting an effort is also equally necessary. You have to take the bows and arrows and shoot. I have already killed. Krishna told Arjuna, that's a different thing. But you have to take the bows and arrows and shoot the arrows. At least that much you do. You don't bother for anything else. So that is the psychology also, and the essence of the teachings. One has to follow, adhere to that one. So that practice is very important. Apart from the dedication, discipline and patience that I teach.
You said that Swamiji described tapas as the ability to sit for 8 hours continuously with the mind silent.
Yeah, definitely, he said. But during my talks and instructions, I try to avoid mentioning this point many times because it could be a bit scary for people. Oh God, it's sitting for 1 hour is such an odious thing. How to sit for 8 to 10 hours? But always I have told step by step, one step at a time. Slowly, slowly you practice, remain dedicated, take care of the physical body, take smaller meals, and you take sufficient rest also, whatever that is necessary. Slowly you see that your mind getting involved into a chatterbox system is decreased, means its load on the brain is decreased. Only you use a little bit of consciousness necessary to live in this world, not get too much excited or involved. It's all reduced. Then you get sufficient rest of the brain also. Then it will be better for you to sit for many hours. It will become possible. So that way you have to practice. That's what Swamiji said. As a definition, he said, means for 1 hour, when you are able to keep the mind quiet as a pure consciousness, totally focused, that is the real meditation. You can tell I am meditating. Till then you are trying to meditate. So that is important. Then for 8 to 10 hours, when you are able to keep the mind quiet and just watching. So imagine the amount of patience you require, that you have to be just watching and doing nothing, bodily, mentally, in every way. That is known as tapas. From then the tapas starts. That's what he used to say as a definition. But every time one need not remember this and get frightened. Step by step, you just try to do 5 minutes today, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, bother about that 20 minutes. If you are planning to sit for 1 hour, bother about that 1 hour of keeping quiet. Other things will come slowly, you will gain the ability. This is a continuous journey, not involved only with one physical body, one life. It will continue, even if for some reason, as Krishna assures, the body dies of aging or any such thing. Your trying is worthwhile. It will continue in the next life. In a childhood itself, you'll get the inclination. Just like at a very childhood, we got the inclination. The spiritual doubts and thoughts started coming. Like that, it will come and you will be able to achieve. Everybody will be able to achieve. It's a matter of time. How much vigorously you are ready to practice, how much seriously you are ready to take that one. Like there is a time bomb under your seat. How seriously you want to get out to save yourself.
So we shouldn't, as individuals, be concerned about tapas, just simply aim to improve the quantity and quality of our spiritual practice.
Yeah, peacefully practice and aim to. Don't become too concerned or too worried, or it should not be scary. Nothing. You can do it. One day it's possible. No problem. A primary school child need not worry about university. It can go to university one day when it's grown up. That will happen. Prepare for that now itself. That's it.